All right, I need you guys to hypers if at any point you have been a fan of the YouTuber JonTron. That's a lot of people. Well, you'll be very sad to find out that JonTron is at the very least a Nazi and or at the very least an alt-righter and at worst a Nazi. I imagine many of you already know this. I have a lot of fan crossover, I assume, for the most part with Destiny, or at least many of you used to be Destiny fans before his lefty arc. So you've probably most likely seen Destiny's highest profile debate of all time, which was his debate against JonTron. Ironically, it was this debate that I ended up watching back in late 2017 that sort of jostled me the most out of the alt-right pipeline, ended up sort of pulling me out. And I ended up falling down a rabbit hole of Destiny's videos, joining his community, learning how to debate by arguing with people in his, and just talking with people in general in his Discord server, and just generally like watching a lot of his videos. And while I have a lot of issues with Destiny nowadays, I still have a lot of respect for Destiny just based on like the work that he does tangibly to the online political area and all the work that he has done. And honestly, there is no denial that if it weren't for Destiny, I would not be where I am now at all. For one, I wouldn't be where I am now politically, and I probably wouldn't be where I am now in terms of being an online content creator. I wouldn't have been inspired to formulate my stream a lot around the same way Destiny does it. I get a lot of inspiration from Destiny. A lot of people call me a Vosh clone, but I'm really a Destiny clone, if anything, as is Vosh. Though not a clone, more so inspired, but that's the meme, right? Really quickly, I'm going to show you a bit of clips from this just to catch you all up for those that haven't seen it. We're going to look at a few clips from his highlights of Destiny's debate with JonTron from a while back, and just go over some of his beliefs.
Nation historically, there's just no debating that. When people try to debate that, yeah, there was obviously the slave population who lived here, brought here against their will. So they were emancipated.
The first thing that you just said doesn't really make sense. It was a European nation. Like in the late 1800s and the early 1900s, Italians and Irishmen were discriminated against, like massively, coming to the United States. Like they were called. Okay. I think Irish people were called the inside-out Negroes. Like,
but we weren't there at that time. I mean, I was born in 1990, well past the. I mean, I'm not even 100% white. I'm just saying this is a matter of fact. So when I see bullshit, I just know it, and especially because...
Well, it's not. It's on a much lesser level than it used to be. We don't have Jim Crow laws anymore. We don't, women's suffrage happened, Like,
you're right, and people still manage to create divisions between themselves.
Well, because there still exist divisions. Black people are disproportionately represented in prisons. Women are disproportionately represented in certain workplaces.
Okay, but the argument is that it's white people who caused them to be in those places. That's the implicit argument, not that they have any agency of their own to
Who do you think was responsible for Jim Crow laws?
Well, of course it was white people, of course. I'm not arguing for Jim Crow.
Well, I mean, if you go back 50, 200 years, yeah, it was kind of white people that did it. Now, I'm not saying that we need to lock white people up now or bring back reparations or anything, but...
Yeah, Destiny did really good in this debate because, like, my idea of an SJW, which I thought Destiny was until I watched him from, like, the small bit I've heard of him, it was, like, the idea that, like, white people need to pay for their past transgressions, and it was literally just, no, we need to recognize that these things happened and are a problem and are the reason why black people are in the position they are today, and like try to work to fix that. Like, not talking about punishing white people like I thought it was. And this debate goes on. I really recommend you watch the whole thing. You should actually watch the whole thing. As you can see, that ratio, right-wingers got really, really fucking mad at Destiny after that. But yeah, this was the debate that really put Destiny on the map in terms of like online political discussion. This is what really did it. Before this, Destiny was just sort of like he was once the largest streamer on Twitch, but he really blew up after the JonTron debate. So yeah, that was a really big one. But after this, JonTron went into hiding. JonTron ended up getting so much flack for basically outing himself as an alt-righter, or at the very least a white nationalist, that he went into hiding. He never talked about politics again, and he just kept his mouth shut. He even stopped making videos for a while before coming back. He lost a lot of friends. Dan and Aaron from Game Grumps actually have deleted many of the old segments of Game Grumps when JonTron was on there, where JonTron would, and this should have been a good tell, JonTron would say the N-word a lot during a lot of the older Game Grumps videos with JonTron. That was actually a thing that happened. and they went back and deleted a lot of those. So, yeah, Aaron has said the N-word too. I think Aaron's Jewish, so it's okay. But yeah, it's, yeah. And then JonTron made like an apology and all that, but he kept himself quiet for a while. But apparently, Trump's loss has been enough to sort of pull him out of that and sort of get him on to the political thing again. And he's outing himself as still being a white nationalist, most likely, and probably a Nazi. So here's a tweet that looks very unassuming on the surface here. Dan's Jewish, not Aaron. Damn it. Okay, don't worry about it. So JonTron tweeted, anybody else a big fan of this store? And the store is Banana Republic. Like, when you look at this, just on its own, nothing here, right? Like, why would you even like worry about this? Like, this is nothing, right? So the reason why this is relevant is because, right, it's a dog whistle. Right now, conservatives are claiming that if Biden becomes president, or when Biden becomes president, I should say, America will become a banana republic. Now, this makes, how do I say this? Absolutely no goddamn fucking sense. It's very, very stupid, but a lot of people didn't get it. So JonTron clarified his dog whistle. Let's see if we can find it here. Yes, that is a very nice store and has nothing to do with politics or a failing country. Yes, I 100% agree with your assessment, which has nothing to do with democracies or free and fair elections. Yes. Then there was another one here. I think I actually got, somebody actually sent it to me, so I'll go ahead and bring it up for my notifications. Yeah, here it is. So someone responded, bro, it's just Gap clothes with marginally better materials sold at a premium, bro. So, like, literally somebody who just doesn't get it. And JonTron responds, r/whoosh. This is not what you do when someone doesn't get your dog whistle. When someone doesn't get your dog whistle, you smile and just sort of, like, give the DreamWorks face. That's what you do when somebody doesn't get your dog whistle. You don't, like, clarify, oh, I was dog whistling. I was making a clear reference here, if that's what you're trying to do. And then he says, I just looked it up and I have been truly whooshed. And then he responds with, like, the laughing, smiling face with mouth open and cold sweat emoji, and then responds with the okay hand. So, you know, do with that what you will. So I think it's fair to say that JonTron is absolutely still a Nazi, or at least an alt-righter, or a white nationalist. And this has been what brings it up. And I feel like this is really, really important here. Please define for idiots like me. Banana republics are generally South American countries through which that have become so economically destabilized, usually by the U.S. through the CIA, that they have become reliant on one export, which is usually bananas, sugar, or other fruits or materials that are obtained most commonly in South America. It's ironic, too, because most banana republics that we think of are countries that were basically having slavery propped up by American corporations, and whenever they tried to have a revolution to end that slavery and implement socialism, ended up having that stopped by the USA. Reagan, every other American president. Yeah, so basically this doesn't even make sense. This doesn't even make sense by the logic that the alt-righters are using. It's really crazy. But with all of that said, I think this is still something really relevant that we need to talk about. Despite the fact that Biden is now in office, this doesn't stop the alt-right and the Trump cult from existing. They're still going to have political sway, considering the fact that JonTron... Let's look at JonTron's channel. Let's look at the kind of reach that JonTron has. 3 months ago, 4.7 million, 4.5 million, 5.8 million, 8.1 million... 8.2 million, 8.5 million, and these are just the last 10 months of his videos. And he has 6.42 million YouTube subscribers. This guy has a massive fucking audience, one of the largest, most well-known YouTubers of all time, and he is an alt-righter. He is a white nationalist. And he has massive mainstream appeal, and this is a big problem. This is something that we need to fight against. We need to be continuing, not just trying to radicalize disaffected, edgy liberals, but fighting Nazis and the alt-right. We need to continue to fight against, I guess we could call it Trumpism, for the next 4 years. Because there's nothing stopping a repeat of 2016 from happening in 2024. It could happen. So we need to defeat these people and radicalize their fans to the left as well. The way that I think is the best way to this is my best method for doing this, and you're going to see me doing it a lot in the next 4 years. Leftists need to infiltrate the YouTube drama community. The YouTube drama community is at best marginally center left leaning, and at worst full on like reactionary alt right, like with Keemstar. There is not any leftist representation in the YouTube drama sphere, and I plan on getting into that quite hard. When there is YouTube drama happening, like non-political YouTube drama happening, I'm going to worm my way into that shit, and I'm going to give my takes on it. I'm going to try to build myself into that community. I am going to... Nafuckers doesn't really count, I don't think, my Bluebird. I'm going to be building bridges with other non-political YouTubers. You've seen me trying to do it with, I've done it with JXC, I'd say. I'm trying to do it with Long Beach Griffey. I'm going to be doing it with other non-political YouTubers. I'm going to be working my way down the way. I want to try to see if I can get Chipflake. If anyone here watches Chipflake, I want to try to get them on. I know that Catzoon, another animation channel, also watches me. I want to try to get them on at some point. Catzoon has over 1 million subscribers. That would be a big discussion. And Catzoon is non-binary and talks a lot about LGBT issues on their channel. And I would love to have Catzoon on and maybe, you know, have a conversation with them. Same goes for Chipflake, pretty left-leaning, watches my videos, both of them. You know what community we should also try to get into? This is a good community. We need to try to get into the horror community, like the SCP videos and the creepypasta narration channels. I want to try to get in there. I want to try to build friendships with those YouTubers, even if their content isn't overtly political. At the very least, having a shit ton of left-leaning apolitical channels does a lot, because if somebody in those communities ends up coming out as an alt-righter, like with JonTron, those other figures will end up turning their back on that one figure and ostracizing them, and at least having some sort of influence in that respect, right? Imagine if every single other JonTron-like channel, when JonTron basically outed himself as a Nazi, turned their back on him and completely fucking disowned him. And JonTron had no support from any other YouTubers in that sphere anymore. Imagine how effective that would be. That's what we need to do. Same thing goes for gaming channels with Twitch streamers. Destiny and Hassan are doing massive amounts of work in radicalizing apolitical Twitch streamers more towards leftism. You know, your XQCs, your Trainwrecks TVs, your even your Asmongold's. I would love to have a conversation with Asmongold. Asmongold's one of my favorite streamers by far. I would love to have a political conversation with Asmongold, and I think Hassan has had and Destiny have done a lot for XQC and Asmongold, two of the biggest streamers online. Jaden Animation said trans rights. Absolutely. That's where we need to go from now on. We need to work on this like apolitical content creators with massive audiences being radicalized to the right. This is a big danger, and we need to stop that. Or at the very least, we need to do everything we can do to prevent the audiences of those YouTubers being radicalized by their favorite YouTuber being attacked for their political views. We need to be like, no, his political views are actually bad, and here's why, and make them realize that. Your movie sucks is a big win for Vosh. That's a good one. That is a good friendship that Vosh and Your Movie Sucks have. We need more things like that. I want Vosh to start doing more of what I plan on doing, trying to get in with more mainstream non-political communities and trying to radicalize those people. That is something that we really, really need to do. Subordinary Gamers follows me on Twitter. Guys, I made a video on Subordinary Gamers, and I was really careful about it, not to come off as very standoffish and like an asshole. That is good. This is a win. I will do everything in my power when I am large enough to try to get him on my channel for a talk. That would be a big win. That would be a big win. This is the kind of shit we need to be doing. You know what? Imagine if we got Critical into it. You know what happened the other day, or a couple weeks ago? Critical, without even knowing it, shit-talked JQers. And like Nazi conspiracy theorists. Hold on. Critical origin of penguins. Oh. Did you guys not know this? So basically, Critical made a video about... Did he take it down or something? I can't find it. Basically, Critical made a video. Massive YouTuber, 6.64 million. He made a massive video, or not a massive video, but he made a video about the origin of his name, the Penguin's name. I think this is it.
A few days ago, we released the newest Gentleman song, 2004 Breakup. The deep and complex themes present in the title. I didn't have some kind.
Okay, never mind. That's not it. There's the flavored condoms tier list. That was a good video. Where is it? YouTube listened. Huge thank you. Penguins. I was wrong. Wait, here it is.
Not too long ago, I posted that video called Penguin Z0.
Okay. This is the video that we're looking for. The Penguin Z0 exposed video. Did he take it down? He might have actually taken it down. Here it is.
A little over a year ago, there was...
I believe this video is one in which he ends up debunking the JQ, or at least shit-talking it quite a bit.
There's an incredible conspiracy theory posted about me on YouTube. It was so fucking insane, it made Alex Jones sound like Stephen Hawking. In a nutshell, it was basically a video accusing me of being a Zionist shill promoting some kind of Jewish overlord agenda to control the minds of people through the normalization of interracial lesbian porn, and my constant wearing of a white t-shirt was proof of the baseline consciousness that I was trying to hijack. It was a narrative so unhinged it makes a Hideo Kojima plot look like child's play to decipher. It was fucking wild. And you know how people always say, oh, be careful what you post on the internet because it lasts forever, even if you delete it? Well, that's fucking bullshit. I don't believe that anymore because the video is not on YouTube anymore. I checked everywhere on the...
That's basically like, he goes through, like, shit-talking the conspiracy theory. A Nazi accused him of being some sort of, like, fucking Jewish whatever the fuck. And he recognized it as being insane and shit-talked it. Now, I think it's safe to say that Critical is not very politically literate. This is not an insult towards him at all. I love him. He made a couple of pretty cringy videos about, like, politics before, like, video games, or politics and video games, stuff like that. But this is good. This is good, guys. Charlie is, at the very least, we know Charlie's not like a JQ or a white nationalist or a neo-Nazi, which should have been obvious, you know? This is big. This is good. This is how we radicalize apolitical large creators more to the left by being like, look at these crazy fucking right-wing conspiracy theorists. Aren't these people insane? I've got more to show you. There is so much beautiful content Charlie could make off of the Trumpers losing their shit over Trump losing. This is the kind of stuff. Listen, it's the bare minimum, and yet we're still taking it, okay? It's the bare minimum that we could expect, but it's still good, all right? Good news is good news. So this is where I think we need to be going for the next 4 years, as we radicalize disaffected, edgy liberals and people who are fans of reactionary-leaning apolitical figures, or figures that make mostly apolitical content more to the left. That is our job for the next 4 years. We need to build the leftist equivalent of the alt-right pipeline that existed from Gamergate up until, shortly after the 2016 election. That is our job. That is what we are doing. You guys are all here for the beginning. Taliesin and Evitel. Yeah, that's true. Hold on, here's another example of people we need to be reaching out to. As a big WoW nerd, you know, obviously, Taliesin and Nevitel, WoW channel, really good, love their stuff, the weekly reset, all those things, 286k viewers, mostly just as WoW videos, very left-leaning, they shit-talk reactionaries all the time, they're marveling in Trump's loss, it is fantastic. This is the kind of shit, this is what we need to reach out to. These are the types of people we need to reach out to, you know, this is what we need to be doing. People like Philip DeFranco as well, you know, this is what we're doing for the next 4 years. We're building the leftist equivalent of the alt-right pipeline. The bread line is what we can call it. The bread line. That'll be the name of it. We have learned from our mistakes. We have learned from our successes, and now we need to just do nothing but successes. That's the plan for the next 4 years. Listen, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like. It helps a lot. And if you want to see more from me, be sure to subscribe and ring that bell icon too. Like, seriously, you got to ring the bell icon. If you don't ring the bell icon, you're not actually subscribed. YouTube doesn't really tell you when I'm live or when I upload a video. So if you actually want to be notified whenever I upload, make sure to subscribe and ring the bell icon. Down in the description, there's a link to my Discord server. Very cool community. Over 5,000 people in it now. You should definitely join that. Very, very fun time there. Very, very good. You can debate people. You even get the opportunity next time I do a call-in stream to talk to me directly. That would be fantastic, wouldn't it? If you want to support me financially, if you have extra money, don't do this if you can't afford to. Obviously, if you just have extra funds sitting around and you don't have anything else to do with it, you can support me financially by hitting the join button on YouTube and becoming a member on YouTube. I also have a Patreon in the description as well. You can donate or sub to me on Patreon, or if you want to be a super Chad, you can come to the website xanderhall.com/live and you can either donate or subscribe to me here. Really appreciate it, and hopefully you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching.